It's time to connect to Congress, a segment where we talk directly to Washington lawmakers who represent us here in the San Joaquin Valley. And right now, we're talking to Democratic Representative of California's 21st Congressional District, Jim Costa, live from Washington, D.C. Good morning, Congressman. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Jim, and it's always great to be on Great Day.
We appreciate it. I've got to begin with the wildfires. First, a more general question. Do you feel that enough is being done in terms of forest maintenance in California?
No, I think we can always do better, and there's certainly lessons to be learned here. However, when you've had these historic Santa Ana winds blowing 80 to 100 miles an hour, the ability to move fires literally 4 football fields in 1 minute, there is no ability to stop that level of a horrific fire. But clearly, when we get all of these fires extinguished, we need to sit down at the state and local level and figure out how we can better manage our forests to prevent such occurrences in the future.
Do you think there's enough money being allocated to keep Californians safe from fires?
Well, I think that's part of the reassessment. Clearly, President Biden's declaration at the request of the California legislative delegation to declare disaster designation provides federal dollars that are critical, and we hope that the new administration will continue that effort at the federal level, just as we have done for hurricanes in Louisiana and other parts of the country, and tornado, when we've had natural disasters that have occurred in Texas and floods elsewhere. So California is no different, and we need to have the same support from the federal government that we've given other portions of the country.
What can be done to stabilize the insurance market and get insurers back into the state and help curtail some of the huge increases in price or cancellation that a lot of people are having to deal with?
No, we need to have a plan, and while the legislature in Sacramento passing the FAIR plan is helpful, clearly when you look at the size of the losses that we've experienced just in the last week in the South Coast Basin, it's not nearly enough to cover the damages and the losses. I have friends that have lost everything, and clearly we see 100,000 people that have been evacuated from their homes. And those that have been fortunate not to lose their property still are economically displaced. And it's going to take a while for us to recover. And, you know, you think about it, coming up in the next couple of years, Los Angeles is going to have the Olympics, they're going to have the World Cup, and they're going to have the Super Bowl. And so it's incumbent upon us to have a plan in place to repair the damages and to provide insurance that's affordable for everyone to be able to continue to go on with their lives.
I want to ask you about the new Congress. What's going to be the top priority for the 119th Congress?
Well, I can tell you what my priority is, and that we get a budget in place that has bipartisan support, that we deal with the debt ceiling and we avoid a government shutdown, and at the same time pass the reauthorization of the Farm Bill, and we're over a year delayed in that effort. I will continue to do everything I can to work across the aisle on a bipartisan basis. I think that's what the voters of the Valley expect of us, not to engage in partisan politics, to focus on how we can invest in the people in the Valley, in our infrastructure, on transportation, on health care, to get a medical school in the Valley, and water. Water is so critical. We've made a significant improvements, investing in enlargement of the San Luis Reservoir, looking at increasing Pine Flat, rehabilitating the Frank Kern Canal, and recharging over 1.6 million acre-feet of water through billions of dollars of investments just in recent years alone. But we need to invest in the people of our valley and in California and our country.
And there is some concern about Border Patrol raids that have been happening. Can you tell us anything about that?
Well, there's a great deal of fear as a result of the discussions of mass deportation. I don't think that's the way to deal with fixing a broken immigration system, nor getting the sort of security at our border that Americans expect. Securities to protect us against drug trafficking and human trafficking Clearly that needs to be dealt with, and I hope it will. But the Border Patrol efforts last week, where 78 people were arrested for trafficking fentanyl drugs, which was necessary, and these are people that are undocumented, that are not and human trafficking should suffer the punishment of their crimes. Having said that, there is so much fear. We have 15 to 20% report of people not going to work because of concern about their documentation, and parents are fearful of sending their children to school. We have a lot of mixed families in which some of the members of those families have legal status and some don't, and it really relates to a broken immigration system that we need to fix for farm workers, for dreamers, for those who have lived 10, 15 years or so in our valley and are paying taxes and are law-abiding. That really calls for a bipartisan fix on this broken immigration system.
Congressman Jim Costa, thank you for joining us this morning, and great day. We'll be right back.